Welcome to the house.
Whoa.
We're hanging. Episode 33.
Have a seat. Take off your shoes.
33.
If you're with us, you know that everyone survived the venom snake.
Still alive.
And we're getting ready to play our next game. So thanks for tuning in. Before we start, we have a few announcements as always.
Yeah, let me just crack off with some Beyond Skyrim.
Is that a saying? Do people say that? Let me just crack off.
They don't say
It's
that.
probably some British term.
Anyway, let's get cracking.
No, let's crack off.
Let's crack off. All right, I'm cracking off here, guys. And that's the end of the announcement. Okay.
Sirenscape and Beyond Skyrim. Or
Yeah. So anyway, our sound help is Beyond Skyrim.org. Check it out. Great music. You're listening to it right now. And also Sirenscape for the scapes of sounds. It's like landscape, but with sound. The soundscape. It's a sirenscape. Sirens because they sing, I guess.
Yeah,
It's out
probably.
loud. Yeah, that makes sense.
Before they eat you.
Yeah, right. Anyway, you could craft your own atmospheric environs with sirenscape.com.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, let's talk about what's it called? World Anvil. I'm gonna start for the next few of these. I'm gonna throw out just some weird facts about the world that we live in, just to give you a taste of how strange things actually are when you stop and think about them. Just to give you some ways to think about in your world, what are things like? Because I mean, let's face it, the world's a weird place. Your fantasy world should also be strange. Anyways, found this out earlier. 4 times as many people speak English as a second language than as a first language. Isn't that weird?
Whoa.
Wow.
I mean, and think about it.
Pretty
Like,
phenomenal.
It makes sense.
It does make sense.
That's the lingua franca. That that's the language of.
Common.
Yeah, it's
Trade language.
Yeah.
It's
basically. And so it just made me think in terms of like, in fantasy world, in Forgotten Realms or wherever, your D&D setting is. Yeah, everybody just automatically speaks common, but like that 4 times as many people who speak English, that's still only about 2 billion people on the world, which I think we have like 7 billion people in the world now.
Yeah, right.
I think that's a whole number.
So it just made me think, like, I understand why every character automatically speaks common, right? Because you kind of need that. But do they speak common as a second language? And if so, like, are there still like language barriers? In some sense, there's something that's just easier to say in Elvish.
Sure. Yeah.
So it just made, like, hearing that made me think, like, I want to try and inject some of those weird language things into my fantasy world. And World Anvil is a good way to keep track of those kinds of decisions about how you're building out your fantasy world. So check out our affiliate link, worldanvil.pxf.io/rollslayers. That's us.
Thanks, John.
And hey, are you tired of your social media being full of things that you don't actually really care about? Well, maybe you could try following ours, because you probably care about this. Anyways, yes, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, a perfect place to come and be and exist in peace and harmony,
Which is what Twitter's really all about.
Yeah.
From the get-go. We're on TikTok. We're posting little clippies from this here show of ours right over there. And where else are we? What's the other one?
The YouTube.
The YouTube. That's right. The YouTube. It's hot and it's new for 2022. It's
This new social media.
Terry J YouTube came over here. He gave us this camera, and this is what we're using it for. So
State of the art.
brand new. It probably was thousands of dollars. So yeah, we're uploading these to YouTube just to make it a little easier to watch and easier to access, and it'll be in order and be nice and ready for everyone to binge it, I suppose. So that's all the socials, I think.
Yeah. You can't actually see it, but as part of the YouTube grant that we've been offered, this whole backdrop, this is all green screens, perfect replications of John and Rachel's dining room.
It's CGI.
Yeah.
Made lovingly by Finn and Blender.
Yes. But last but not least, thanks so much to Eldritch Foundry, our partner, who gives you 15% off on your minis if you use our code ROLLSLAYERS in checkout. With announcements out of the way, let's play D&D.
Yeah.
So, last we left off, the party fought a Couatl. Then they fought it again,
Yeah.
Yeah.
with Alyn cutting her way out through the stomach
Yep.
of the beast,
Gnarly.
and it falling to the ground motionless.
Her trademark move, the tornado twister.
That's not what that's called.
Can you tell us what it's called?
Oh man, I hadn't thought of a name. I just didn't
Wait.
like Tornado Twister.
A move like that needs a name
It
so that you
does.
can, yell it as you do it.
Yep. But Link always just goes, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but
To give
Goku
us
says
this
Kamehameha.
Special Alyn spin attack. What's
Oh.
it called?
Well, I think well, not her, but I've yelled the word smite every time that she does a smite. But so I guess we have to name this move.
Well, you can take your time and come
I
back
will.
to it.
Circle
I will come
smite.
back to it.
Super spin smite.
Spin cycle?
In Final Fantasy 14, we would call it Mithril Tempest.
Mm.
Which sounds good, but I'll have to come up with my own Bahamut flavored one.
Okay.
All right.
Well, Platinum Tempest.
It's fun. I'll think on it. I'll think on it.
But what would you
Platinum
guys
Twister.
like to do as the proverbial dust settles? The head of the beast dragged out by Bells and Verne. Or no, by the Tensor's floating tip.
There you go. That's the one.
Well,
I think Vinny will just go over to take the head and start using his whittling knife to pry out a tooth
Okay.
or two.
let's see exactly what we needed here. We need
Heartstrings,
heartstrings.
vial of blood, or 2. Feathers.
I've
and
got some
teeth.
vials.
So, Vinny, can I have you make a survival check for me?
I would like to help him with that. Just kind
Okay.
of guide his hands. I had a nephew who he'd like to gather these. You just gotta kind of get underneath the root.
Oh yeah, thank you. Vinny.
Not
It's very,
Couatl teeth, but teeth.
very
of-
helpful though.
Yes.
So, roll at advantage, or if you want to roll as well, Verne, you may.
I'll just
I'm
roll an
helping.
advantage.
Yeah.
13.
Easy enough. You kind of get your dagger under a few of them and kind of pull them out. You get 5 Couatl teeth.
Does anyone know exactly what heartstrings are? I'm not personally familiar with that.
I always just thought it was a metaphor.
I think it. Alyn, did you see any heartstrings in there?
Cut a few of them.
You get a, if anyone wanting to identify what a heartstring is can make a medicine check if they'd like, or I'll allow a nature check as well.
I'll
I'll
make
make a
a.
medicine check.
I'll make a nature check.
Alrighty.
17.
If we can't figure it out, we
7.
could always just take the
You
heart.
kind of, Bells, you kind of
Whole
think
thing.
back on kind of a few of like, you did study under a doctor and you think heartstrings, like it could be referring to what the doctor referred to as kind of like these muscular tendons that are part of the heart that kind of pull pieces of the heart open and shut.
So maybe I'll just start like kind of butchering it a bit.
Sure.
And find these sort of
Yeah.
strings
If-
coming out of the heart.
If you guys just want to make another survival check with advantage
I'll guide you.
to start butchering the beast and getting the pieces, that's easy enough to do.
Can I spend some time looking at that
What does guide
pool
give
and
me?
see if there was
A
anything
D4.
mysterious
I
about
rolled
it?
so
Looking at the
terribly.
pool?
Yeah, I want to look and see if it's like surrounded by runes or.
Sure.
if
We'll get to that in a
Yeah.
second.
A 15 survival check.
15? So over the course of this, you're going to be able to secure all the necessary components. Could I have, what is everyone's alignment for me?
Alignment.
Oh wow, that's
What do you
interesting.
think, Tyler?
I'm
I
What
just
would you
need good,
guess?
neutral, or evil.
Oh, okay.
good.
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 We're a guild.
Venuthra.
I'm looking for it because I definitely figured it out. But... Oh, features and traits. He is. Where do I find this?
He's good.
I'm pretty sure he's neutral,
I'm
but alignment is neutral. Yeah.
Okay. So, could I have each of you, as you guys are starting to butcher this, and Verne, you're starting to walk over and look at the pool of acid, can I have each of you kind of make a wisdom saving throw for me?
No. No, you may not.
Ugh. 9.
Come on.
Mm.
16.
Okay.
This is the one where we all turn evil.
A
Yeah.
13.
16.
13, 16. Alen?
I'm getting my wisdom saving throw. thing.
You're good.
I do it. I tapped it.
Did it work?
It's.
There it goes.
Does it see?
17.
Oh, I don't have
17.
D&D Beyond up.
17.
17? So, you all unanimously start to feel this kind of tug in your mind. You hear, like, kind of in the back of your head, kind of your own thoughts say to yourself, I should jump in that. But all of you besides Cyrus shake that off. And you start
So glad
to go
you
back to
knew.
doing what you're doing. And Verne, you see Cyrus start to sprint towards the pool of acid.
I'm gonna body check him out of.
Okay.
Not gently. Sorry, Cyrus.
Contested
Okay.
athletics check for me.
Contested athletics.
Yeah.
Good thing I'm not very athletic.
Yeah, I don't expect anything to happen, but
Except, however, I do still have jump cast on me.
I need to roll for Phineas too.
That's probably been more than a minute by now. We butchered up the whole dang thing.
Yes, we
Okay,
did.
okay, yeah.
Phineas is also sprinting towards the pool.
Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna stop Cyrus. 18.
8.
All right, so you body check Cyrus, and he just to the ground, and you kind of snap out of it at that moment.
I did kind of want to see where that would have gone if
So
I jumped 15
Phineas
feet
would
in
be
the
like
air.
charging
Phineas-
toward the
and
acid.
Phineas is
I
also jumping in the acid.
would try
I would-
to like
oh.
stop him.
Okay, make an athletics check to body check him too, or try and grapple him.
So we're all kind of like.
It's a 9.
He
I was gonna-
pushes past you.
Hold person.
Oh, roll hold person, or that's a save for him, right?
Yeah.
Wisdom.
Yep.
Okay. Let me pull up his.
So I'm guessing we all felt a similar pull
Oh, wait,
because
I
we
have
all kind of had a
proficiency.
moment
Uh-huh.
where everyone was.
I have proficiency on my athletics.
Okay.
So that'd be a 21.
Okay.
Okay.
She can get it then.
So simultaneously, Vinny reaches out with hold person, and he gets kind of like grappled by Bells and is trying to get out of it, and then just stops. Can't move.
Do I take any damage from getting tackled to the ground?
No.
Okay.
It counted as a shove.
It was a gentle tackle.
Yeah. No, it was not. It was a stepping in front of you and you running into a brick wall.
Fine, then you take 1 point of bludgeoning.
Well, no, it's just a shove.
I rolled a
maneuver.
d6, so it's good damage for that. If you wanted to be violent with him,
I had to be quick.
Right.
To Cyrus,
What's going on?
I'm guessing we all felt something similar.
Mm-hmm.
Can I look at the runes?
there are no runes on it.
It's just the pool. There's nothing around it.
Bubbling acid. Phineas kind of speaks
I
up.
would shake him and say, "What are you doing?"
Oh, I don't know. That was quite strange. I just felt overwhelming urge to jump in that pool. Can you let me go? No, both of you.
Ugh.
How do I know that you're not going to try and jump in the
I'm not
pool?
going to jump in the pool.
We'll just pick him up
Okay.
and
That
carry
sounds
him.
like someone who's going to jump in the pool would
Okay.
say.
All right. I'll let you go. Can someone just get in front of him? And then I let it go.
He immediately starts trying to, and then just stops, backs away, and he's like, "I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding."
Oh,
That-
my.
Am I still trying to get in the pool?
No, you
Okay.
don't. You kind of snap out of it
Okay.
after being body checked.
What
Could
is
this
happening
be
to us?
One last gasp of the Couatl. Could it be that whoever slays the Couatl feels compelled to jump inside the, its lair?
To
Did
jump
we
in-
hear its voice, or was it just our?
It was just your own voice.
It could be that. It could be that this is an evil, cursed pyramid.
We should probably
Let's
get the
leave.
things and go.
Yes, we should.
I'm in
You're about
favor of
halfway
that.
done butchering this snake, but you can easily
While they're
finish that.
doing that, can I just kind of have a look about the room
Yeah.
and see if there's?
Make an investigation check for me.
I guide him. If you're going to look for something, will you look for something shiny?
I will look. Hey. That is investigation. That is a 23.
Ooh.
Okay. What languages do you speak?
Okay, so I speak Common, Elvish, Giant, and Sylvan, and some of those have commonalities in the script with other languages. I can't ever remember. I think Elvish is pretty broad.
You find a scrawling kind of on one of the lips, almost imperceptible, of just some like words in a language you don't recognize.
Benuthra, can you read this? Point at this tiny little script.
Not unless it's common, elvish, or halfling.
I wasn't sure if you had any special powers. I don't know what your character sheets say.
What's a character sheet?
I didn't mean to say that out loud. It stays in my head.
No, but we could probably ask Cyrus. He knows a lot of things.
I know Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Halfling.
Okay, so is it dwarvish?
It's not dwarvish.
Mr. Lone Song.
Yes.
Can I look at it?
Oh yeah. What languages do you speak?
Draconic.
Draconic
And common.
and Common. You don't recognize this language.
Mr. Lone Song.
Yes.
Do you happen to recognize this or know some manner of which we may determine that?
Oh, let me see. It's got some common glyphs with primordial, but it doesn't seem to be that. I don't know what this is.
Cyrus, out of curiosity, maybe we can take this down in a book or a page to look at later.
Yeah. Can I get a rubbing of it?
Yeah, do you have any charcoal?
I'm sure I'm probably doing my component pouch.
Sure. Yeah, easy enough. Just kind of on one of the pages of like maybe a journal or something.
Yeah.
Easy enough to do.
Okay, cool.
It's about this time that Bells has kind of stabbed her sword in the side of the snake, indicating she is done doing her handiwork of collecting heartstrings and blood
It
and
is
feathers and teeth.
finished.
Did you get some of the blood?
I have
Cyrus,
some
We have
vials.
some
Cyrus
vials?
handed me some vials.
Oh,
We have
okay.
some blood.
What does it look like?
It is dark blue
Ooh.
with like
Matches my sword.
cloudy like striations of bright venomous green that kind of
Ew.
swish around in it.
Perhaps we had better exit. And I point towards the giant gaping hole in the side of the pyramid.
Climbing out the side, you encounter no other issues. Surfacing to the abandoned streets around the Zigguratt, on the opposite side of where you came in.
Do we still have the welcome toad?
That's on the other side of the
Okay.
Ziggurat, but it is.
I think we took it with
indeed-
us.
Oh, you did?
Oh, we left it?
No, it's
We
around,
absolutely left
it's
it.
around on the
Oh,
front.
man. Well, I guess we'll have to make another
So we're
one.
over on the side.
I'll have to go back for that.
All right. Find an abandoned building somewhere to hunker down for the evening.
I could surely use a rest.
So you're going to look for an abandoned building?
Yes, but one that's preferably close to the Ziggurat because toads will be less likely to be there.
It did seem markedly abandoned directly around the Ziggurat, so easy enough. You kind of peek into one of the rooms. There are more of these shattered eggshells all over the ground of one of these buildings, but nothing else of note.
Can we look for one with fewer shattered eggshells?
Yeah, I mean, you can eventually come to a room that has no eggshells.
Huh.
Shall we?
Battery died.
I don't know.
Aw.
Shall we, what now, Bells?
Shall we rest here for the time being? For the
Yes.
evening, perhaps. What time is it?
It would be around 3 in the afternoon, probably. 4 at this point.
Yes, I'm looking at
Goodness.
Lynn and Verne both, and they look like they've been inside of a Couatl.
Would you mind?
Okay, but I'd love a rest.
I have 1 spell left if anyone needs a little healing.
No, I think that I will be all right.
Okay. Well,
If no one else will take it, I'll take it.
sure. He casts healing word on you, and you get back 7 points.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
I'll use my second wind.
Okay. You can cover HP that way. And are you guys taking a long rest here?
Yeah, it was kind of evening as
Yeah.
I remember right.
Pretty sure you can use your hit dice on a long rest if you really feel like it. If you want to go to bed with 8 full HP.
I don't like how many hints you're dropping towards that being a good idea, so I'm going to go ahead and do that.
I'm just saying it's an option.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Okay. And you guys want to establish watches as you kind of get ready for a long rest?
I think
I'd be happy to take the first watch. I'm doing pretty good.
I'll take first watch with you, Bells.
I'll hop on the second watch.
I will as well.
I think before we go to bed, I'd mentioned this to Lynn, but I do need to come clean with you, Vinny, and Cyrus. It might not be a surprise to you, but I'll be moving on before too long. I'm not planning on abandoning you in any kind of peril, but
Moving on, as in, are you planning to die?
no, I'm not that old. You know how old I am.
I know. I'm.
We're the same age, sort of.
I know. It's just it's a common euphemism.
Right, I suppose that's true. In any case, Mr. Lonesong has been kind enough to have offered up some suggestions on where I can take my family and my clan to settle down, as I'm sure they've grown as tired of wandering as I. And I'm sorry that I didn't mention it earlier, but I guess I didn't know whether or not we would find a place soon or not.
Do you have a place that you're looking to go to?
We have, according to Mr. Lonesong, there's a couple of good options that I will have to mull over. But maybe the lot of you could help me think about that some too.
Yes, I've found a couple of places. We'll go explore them. And you know what? You've kind of inspired me, Verne. I think I'm going to buy property somewhere.
You don't own any?
No, I don't. I've not had a home for quite some time. I've been too busy working. I was going to leave through Caldian and go on my next adventure, but I think perhaps it might be time to settle down for a bit.
You're not planning on settling down in the apostasy, are you?
I don't know. Kellyan's quite fun.
Well, I was really talking more to Verne.
Oh,
Oh,
No offense, Phineas, but
I don't think
None
so.
Where are you thinking of?
Well, according to Mr. Lonesong, there's an island far north of Iodosas and west of Eltexia. Apparently, there are more Fearbolg there, which would be interesting. And also an unoccupied area in the eastern forest near the Galfell Mountains.
Oh, that's so far away.
It is, but it seems a bit busy in this part of the world, doesn't it? Could use a quieter area.
Hmm.
A life of one, Verne. Didn't expect it to be so soon, I suppose.
Well, frankly, I didn't either. I'm a bit surprised myself. My children did assure me that they would find somewhere, and I did say multiple times we ought to just stick it out here, and frankly, that didn't serve us well. I mentioned to both Lynn and Bells that my home forest is dying, so I do have to find another place, and you've all been so invaluable in my learning to experience other parts of the world. I want you to know that I won't be leaving without paying my dues, I suppose, but spending more time with a lot of you.
Yes. Guess I just perhaps took you for granted.
you've become an invaluable part of our group.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate both of those comments a great deal. And I do want to stress, were I to take all of you with me, I certainly would. But I feel that you probably wouldn't enjoy my way of life quite as much as I do.
Well, wherever you go, we'll have to know where that is.
Of course.
I've kind of felt that. Well, I just thought that it was more fate that you found me. And I suppose that it wouldn't end. This is a bit jarring, I suppose, for me, and I will feel laid bare in these Beiju wilds and wherever else we go without you by my side.
Well, I should be clear. I will try my best to see you out of the Beiju wilds, but all the good things do come to an end, Vinny. In some ways they have to. Things can go on too long and, I don't know, spoil. I say that. I spent an awful long time in my last home.
Well, I've spent a lot of time in places where really I should have spent less time. So I certainly understand.
We're all here now, and that's, for the time being, what matters.
well, I'm going to turn in. And he unfolds his tent inside the room. And shoves his rattan sleeping mat in the tent.
Hold on a moment. I'm gonna poke my head in the tent and see if it's bigger on the inside.
It is not. It's just a 2-person tent.
Okay. I didn't
Yes?
want you to think. I didn't want you to be holding out on us.
No, I'm not. And if I may, if we're going to be traveling together, there's a whole thing called personal space.
Explain.
Well, this is my space, and you are intruding upon my space. It says 2-person tent, but with this cot, it's like half a person, to be fair.
Verne just slowly scoots his head back out of the tent.
Thank you!
It wasn't bigger in there. I thought
Why
much of
would
the
it
room
be?
How much of the room is being taken up by the tent?
It's a fairly large room, so not
Okay.
maybe like an eighth of the room, a sixth.
Okay. I was just curious as to whether it was taking up like half of the room, and he was saying personal space.
Oh yeah, no,
That'd
it's
be funny.
it's like one of those air quotes two person tent, which really
Okay.
like means one person can fit in it comfortably, sort of thing.
I'm sorry, Liz. What were you gonna say?
Nope, nothing.
You said, some of them are bigger on the inside. We had one like that back home.
So, with that, the sky starts to darken, and first watch comes into effect for those who are watching. If I can have perception checks.
13.
22.
As you kind of watch the sun set, as you kind of relax, you don't hear or see anything out of the ordinary.
I think if anyone were to looked in on Vinny, I think he'd been noticeably not talking and just, I think, turning around the little deer that he had carved in his fingers.
You carved a deer.
He did. He whittled a deer. He'd been working on it
That's what you've been
most
doing.
nights. Yeah. When he's not reading his tome.
I'd ask, Vinny, what is that in your hand?
Oh, this, just something that I got it. It's something to pass the time, and hands it to her.
Oh, what's it look like?
Looks like a little wooden deer. It's just like,
Yeah.
whittled out of it. It's fairly masterfully done.
So fairly masterfully done.
Yeah. My grandfather, well,
Oh, it's beautiful. This is what you've been doing all this time.
yes. I suppose it's a sort of a family gift. Being able to work things out of wood.
This
Or
is remarkable.
Yes. I suppose so. I don't really think about it. It's something I've been doing for a long time. Helps me take my mind off of things.
Off of what sort of things?
Off of uncertainty about the future. Off of my failings. Off of my... I don't know. My incessant need to impress, I suppose.
Have you had many failings in your time?
I think you've been witness to your fair share of my faith. I would say that it's pretty indicative. It's fairly indicative of, yeah, of what you've seen is pretty indicative of where I've come from. I like to think of myself as skilled or masterful in the way of gentlemanly ways. But the truth is it doesn't always land, and it always hasn't. I've not always been thought fond of. Either way. I don't know where I will go next, but there was a comfort knowing that Verne would be there with me. And I haven't known him for very long, not much longer than you yourself, but it just, I don't know how to explain this. It seemed that he had arrived just at the right time for me. And I think that there's more weaving our paths together than just mere chance. Some working of the Fae, I'm sure.
And you don't know what exactly you'll be doing now?
Not really. I mean, I know that I'm to go north, but I've gone north. There's really no way to know whether I've gone far enough or if this was the errand that I came to enact. I have no idea.
At least you have some sort of direction, I suppose.
Yes. But I feel very lost at this news. And I suppose until interrupted, I will just keep my path with the rest of you. Until I figure something else out. How about you? What keeps you going in this ridiculous band of misfits? Not that they're misfits in any way in the world, but that you certainly seem to be misfitted together.
Well, I suppose I've just been running away from home and we've just gone further and further away and I don't really have a plan at all. I'm not sure.
No direction for you then, huh?
None at all, really. Just escaping where I've been, I suppose.
Listen, we've had some harrowing experiences. And I know that you and I have a lot of differences. However, I do feel much safer with you at my side. And I hope that I'm able to provide at least half the comfort that you provide for me within this party. This guild of goodwill.
I suppose I've always been a bit wary. There's some people that are looking for me and I prefer not to be found, if you understand.
Or do I understand? I thoroughly understand. And I don't know who would be looking for you. But if I watch your back, will you also watch mine?
Well, of course.
Good. I suppose we all have a past that we would prefer to keep hidden. I just want you to know that it's only to protect you that I would not say more. It's only to protect any of us if we were to get into a situation where we would be to be held at knife point like I was in that room. I wouldn't want you to know any incriminating information. It could potentially get you harmed or hunted.
I understand.
And I take it your situation could be similar, so I will not pry. But if someone comes for you, then I will be there to defend you.
Okay.
Deal? And he reaches out his hand.
I'd take it and shake it very firmly.
Deal.
With a deal struck, continue on your watch until it is time to wake Cyrus and Phinneas.
Yeah, let's go get... so I'll go wake Cyrus. Would you like to wake Phinneas?
I risk intruding on his personal space.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'd stick my head in his tent and just whisper, Phinneas, it's time.
Doesn't stir with a whisper.
Go over to him and kind of try to rouse him.
Oh,
with my
yes,
hand.
yes. I'm up. What?
It's your turn to watch.
Oh, yes, watch. Yeah, I'll be out in just a minute. Oh, okay. It's the best part of the dream. It's fine. Just finally kind of tumbles out of the tent.
And I would go over to where Cyrus is sleeping, and seeing that he's probably made himself a cozy mat, I'll just take his place in it.
Cyrus, as you start your watch, could I have a perception check for you?
Yes.
Now that it is dark, it'll be at disadvantage for your human eyes.
Yeah.
Noted, then you should take second watch.
20.
20. You feel like you're keeping out a pretty good eye as you're watching, but you don't really detect anything throughout the time of your watch. But part of the way through, Phinneas kind of starts to try and make conversation just because he doesn't like silence. So kind of be like, so, you been doing magic long?
Yep.
Cool. Well, anything you want to hear about from the world?
Well, plenty.
Okay, well, what are you curious about?
Um,
I've been a few places.
I think Cyrus is turning over in his mind. Like he's curious about the world. Does he want to hear about it from Phinneas?
If Lynn were awake, she'd be like, when can I see this side of Cyrus?
What's the what would you consider the most interesting place you've ever been?
Ooh, interesting place. Like natural breathtaking vista or city or...
I mean, like, place of interest.
I mean, I'll give you one of each. How about that? The
Okay.
coolest city I've ever been to is probably Couatl. It's a majocracy.
Coolest in terms of temperature?
No, it's neat. It's fun.
Oh,
It's spiffy.
oh.
But it's a majocracy, and so, lots of cool magic things around. Not cool the temperature, mind you, but...
Because I've got cool magic too, and I'll just cast Ray of Frost out into the void.
No, not that. I mean, like, golems as guards, or perpetually clean streets. There's a floating bit of the city and whatnot like that.
Oh.
A lot of magical items are made there and distributed throughout. Anyway, that's probably, if I was to be a tourist of the world, I'd go visit Couatl again, probably.
Oh.
In terms of, I don't know, nature. Well, I mean, the Goldfell Mountains are beautiful. You know that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's crazy.
And he's like deep in thought, not picking up on your sarcasm, but he continues to talk your ear off for a while about geography, and then kind of just sighs contentedly.
And now Cyrus
That's
can
great.
use the word cool in context.
I think it's as he's finding a stopping place in this conversation. I think Cyrus is going to say something like, "Do you ever get tired of it?
Tired of...
Tired of yourself?"
Oh. No, never myself.
Brutal.
I do get tired of... I've told Verne he's inspired me to kind of settle down for a bit. Done a lot of traveling. But no, never tired of myself. I'm the only one who's stuck up for myself, I'm the one that crawled my way out of that eternal war in Galloway and made a name for myself. Do you get tired of yourself?
Oh, constantly, all the time.
Self-loathing?
No. I think it's. I think there's a certain. There's a healthy degree of being aware of your own shortcomings enough to let yourself be small now and then.
Sure. And I didn't mean everyone has shortcomings. I for sure do, but I like to practice. Oh, call it self-love or narcissism. Sides of the same coin.
Are they that?
Yes. They're different, but they're so closely tied to one another. You take self-love too far, you end up a narcissist.
Yeah, that's true.
But while I love myself, I try not to be selfish. I spend a lot of money, helping people around. A lot of my book proceeds go to aiding the poor and...
Oh, do they now?
Yes.
I'd actually like to hear more about that.
Oh, I made a deal with a publisher. My publisher's operating out of Eltexia, and I decided that, there are a fair amount of people affected by war and famine and general hard times.
You're referring to the Tabaxi settlements.
Oh, well, that as well as, a lot of proceeds in Kazun, as well as parts of Iudosos. The Kingdom of Alda has people who need help. But yes, the Tabaxi. But enough about me. Where are you off to next, you Guild of Goodwill?
Well, I suppose next in our agenda is probably returning to Drasburgh.
Getting paid.
Yeah,
I hear that.
and that's part of what we're doing out here on a sort of a mercenary mission.
Well, depending upon your friend here, we may be accompanying you to Drasburgh as well, and then on to Zagsnick through the Ascendancy. But if we're headed to Umenfir, we'll probably part ways and head to Chaldean to take a boat.
I suppose we still have a little bit of time left to make those decisions.
Just a bit. But on that note, you should probably wake and Lynn and go to bed.
Yes. So yeah, Cyrus is gonna go wake Len.
I have a procedural question that I meant to ask earlier.
What's up?
I recall many an episode ago when one Mr. Iodon Thadratil went to the postal service and turned in his bounty for a reward.
Behrman's momentary missives.
Yes, I was questioning whether or not in this world it's a pretty common thing to have a courier service that does similar things in major cities, meaning we could drop off our things in not Drasburgh and get paid for them.
Yes, but only major cities.
Right, okay.
So Chaldean, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring. Not like trading post towns and stuff.
But that said, you would have to beforehand confirm with the job poster.
Right.
That way they could send it. The reason that Iodon was able to collect that from Behrman's is because they have a standing fee set aside for members of the Twilight Expedition.
Sure.
So they were able to pay that out.
Right. So it's not impossible. Just maybe different, I guess.
Yeah, you'd have to get word to Top Pool.
I'm trying to save us from having to go all the way back to Drasburgh to get paid and then go back to other places.
Yeah, Cloverton has a Behrman's.
Yeah,
No,
you said that
joking.
it depends on where you go, whether you go to the Golfell Mountains or whether you go to Texia or wherever it's called.
I'm trying to save everyone a trip to Drasburgh, basically. Outside of game. I just wanted to know if that's like a commonplace thing that we know about.
The only way you'd save yourself a trip to Drasburgh is if you went to Chaldean and somehow got in touch with Top Pool.
Yeah. Okay.
To send money.
Yeah.
But you also need to bring him the. You'd have to you'd have to send it and then wait for the postal service to send you back money. It'd be a while.
Yeah.
We'd have to wait on somebody to get down to Drasburgh and back.
It's only payment on
Wherever
receipt.
you'd like to go, I'm sure the party will see you off.
Yeah.
It's not. This has absolutely nothing to do with Verne and everything to do with podcasts of exploring the world.
Right, because we do want to make sure that people actually want to listen to this.
Right.
Lion.
I can accommodate wherever you want to go.
So yeah, I'll go wake up Lynn.
Okay. Lynn, if you want to make your watch, you may.
Okay. I'm going to roll physical dice. Because I don't want to look for perception in the app. I have to look for perception on the app. Just kidding. Because I need to see my modifier.
That's right.
There we go. So, not passive perception. I found it. Ready for this. Here we go. 8.
Lynn, the only thing you see is eventually dawn.
All right.
Right as it's starting to get probably closer to the end of her watch, can I wake up?
Sure. Your old bones.
Yeah, Verne doesn't sleep much anyways.
Mhm.
Just goes and sits by Lynn. So you'll take care of them, right?
Okay. As soon as if as you're walking up, like Ellen sees you and then like hurriedly kind of turns away, and is like kind of sitting on the like I don't know what would be good to sit on, but she's like kind of scoots over and like is just pointedly kind of looking away. And when he says that, I don't know if Tyler would make you roll a perception.
I think that he probably would have said that before he's seen that you're in that position. Like he kind of has sat down, just woke up, and then looks over and sees that.
You can see that.
Well, she's got a twinkle in her eye, very misty-eyed. But at the conclusion of what you're saying, asking to take care of them, she does just break down into tears.
Oh no. I'm trying to think of best practices for comforting for this situation specifically.
No, don't come for me, Ben.
I think Verne puts his arm around her.
Thank you for always taking care of us, but also for being so strong. I mean it, you really were the best of us. I know you're not God yet, but I've always seriously been inspired by you, so it's just really hard for me to hear that you're gonna go. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Lots of feelings abound, and there's still time.
Yeah.
And
I think I have some cloth on me. I must look like a total mess.
I can't see anything anyways, so you're fine on that front. Look. I understand that to some extent, I understand very, very well what you're going through, and I suppose what Vinny is going through too in his own way. As I watched many people dear to me depart not so long ago. But it's okay to feel the way you feel now.
I guess I'm just sadder. I'm happier, but I'm sadder because you're going in such a good way. You're going to be with your family. I'm so happy for you. That makes it worse.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I have a long road to travel yet. But I see your point. I was defensively joking.
I feel like I've lost so many people to monsters and bandits and people getting killed left and right. But when it's come time for you to ride off into the sunset, I just wasn't ready for something like that.
Do you feel worried?
Well, I'm not. I know you'll. If anything comes your way, Verne, you'll just smash
Not
it.
about me.
No, I guess it's. I'm so. I didn't even really think about the happy ending for. I just thought the glory of combat and in fighting our way, you know, I really didn't even think about it for myself, and you're gonna get it, and I want to make sure that you get it. I wish I could go with you.
Oh, I'll be just fine. Me and Mr. Lonesong.
That man worries me. It kind of makes, when you say that, it makes me kind of wish I could go doubly more.
I don't think you want. I don't think you want to put up with them. But,
You're right.
But that didn't answer my question. Are you worried about? Are you worried about you and everyone here?
I think they'll be just fine. I think we can take care of ourselves. I'm not worried about it. Vinny's becoming a more powerful mage or sorcerer, a more powerful warlock all the time. And Cyrus is really coming to his own, and Bells has always been extremely skilled. I know everyone's so capable. It's just that I'm fond of you, Verne. That's the real run of it.
Well, I'm quite fond of you too, Lynn. And like I said, were it completely up to me, I would spend more time here, but
No.
well, as you well know, spending too much time in one place is something of a weakness of mine.
Go be with your family. You deserve it.
Oh, I still have time yet. Everything moves a bit slower for the Firbolg. Frankly, I didn't think I'd have this easy enough of a time of seeing an end to this, but here I am, and I have to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
But I'll continue with you, of course. I'm not leaving yet.
All I meant was, I know you've got your whole journey, but we couldn't ask you for any more time or any more that you've already given us. We're grateful, Verne.
Well, I just must reciprocate, and not from a place of defense either. I've learned so much from the likes of you.
Well, you're just being overgenerous.
No.
Would you mind? I'm so ashamed to ask. And she's very, very much looks ashamed. She's wiping her face with the back of her hand. Would you take the last 5 minutes, 10 pieces of my watch? Because I think I'm going to go splash my face with some river water and just make myself look a little more presentable before going back to the group. And hopefully come back a little more in one piece when I do.
Yes.
And so, Lynn, you go to refresh yourself, and you take over the watch, and before you know it, the day is upon you. If you'd like to try and make your way out of the city, and make stealth checks, you may. But I'll need a heading for where you're going.
Suppose we haven't talked much about this yet.
Verne, you found Phinneas. Have you made a decision on where you need to go next?
No.
How much time do you have?
Give or take 50 years.
No, I mean, before you need to find a place to settle down, because we could just do both. I mean, we could go explore that forested region, and then if nothing pans out, I'll take you to Umenfear, or you don't even need me for that. Technically, you know where it is. You can go buy a ticket to Umenfear.
They sell tickets to Umenfear?
Oh, you'd have to take it from a connecting port. Chaldean doesn't sail to Umenfear, but you could find somewhere, perhaps on Eltexia or Iodosos.
Imagine all the Fearbolg chartering a vessel.
Oh, it's not just Fearbolg who live on Umenfear. There are some Genasi, some Bullywugs. They just occupy the largest settlement in the middle with the big forest.
All that said, I think I've had my time to choose our heading.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
Where are we going?
No, I mean that it's been my turn. We found you.
Oh, so I'm choosing.
No.
Who's choosing?
I am.
Oh,
If it's not too bold. I'm sorry, everyone, but I've been away long enough. I think we need to return. We need to return back to the Ascendancy. I personally have some unfinished business there. And whether you guys come along with me, whether I go by myself, that's where I'm headed. You can come. I'd like you to come, but I have to go back.
That sounds fine to me. I mean, Drasburgh is on the way back to the Ascendancy. We can collect their paycheck
Sure.
and then attend to whatever business you need.
So what are the two? You said you had two headings.
Oh, yes, I do.
What are the two? What is the fourth one?
I don't know. Mr. Lonesong?
well, geographically, the forest I'm speaking of lays on the western side or eastern side of the Gulfell Mountains, and the island I speak of is northeast of Kazun. Quite far, but we'd need to take a boat out of Chaldean, which is further north of here. So, opposite directions, depending upon where Mr. Thistlebrow would like to journey.
And in relation to the Ascendancy?
Oh, well, Zagsnik is the nearest city to that little forested region, and that's in the Ascendancy.
Lynn, I assume your journey does indeed befit a guild of goodwill.
It does. I'd like as much help as I can. Frankly, I've been in pursuit this whole time of a bit of a mystery, a bit of an investigation that I'm no investigator. I have, and she looks down at her, two swords. I have my tools, and frankly, they're not much good for questions. But I'd like as much help as I can get. It's the most important cause that I know.
What if you need someone to speak on your behalf?
Oh dear.
Like I said, if you're returning to the Ascendancy, Stohel is your best smuggling bet. Or if you want to poke around in Urbangal, that's a hornet's nest you can mess around in, I'm sure.
I can send a message to a few people that I might know who would have some information.
I believe I've heard that referred to as Scutheller.
Oh, yeah.
It's nicer now than it was a while back, I'll say that.
Yeah, when's the last time you were there?
Oh, before the Ascendancy apostasy thing. Now that it's their only large major port, they're trying to renovate it quite a bit. It's not working.
Yeah, I mean, they put in a few new strip malls, but it's,
And the canal revitalization project is just not even working.
I mean, I imagine Stoheller as basically like Venice, but a swamp.
It is very much
Ugh.
swamp Venice. There are
Yeah.
canals that kind of run through that are naturally kind of part of the delta.
It's like a western town when it rains too much and the streets are just mud.
Well, so Lynn, do you have a heading? Do you know where exactly we need to be?
Well, my investigations have proved fairly, my efforts have been frustrated. I have no desire to bandy words. Like, I think we should return to perhaps Erangel, and I think we should maybe seek out some counsel. But to be frank, my mission will end at the Cartagia estate, and it will end with the death of one Linus Cartagia. If any of you have any opposition to this, say so now.
Why not just slay Linus Cartagia? As I recall, he's a number of choice words could be used to describe that character.
Ah, yes, but he hasn't done those things to me yet.
Oh, it's future.
Hmm.
You about to, what's that movie called?
Precog.
Yeah. Doing what is that?
Minority Report.
You're in a
Minority
minority report.
Report.
This guy.
Yeah, you are bad.
So are you guys heading back to Drasburgh then and deciding from there where you go? Is that kind of, I need to, I guess, know where Verne's going.
I
That's
don't-
really the crux of
Verne
it.
is traveling with this group for the foreseeable future.
Okay, so Drasburgh it is.
Well, is that the right direction for
Well, that,
everything?
I mean, that's where,
Why don't
that's the
we
nexus
Head
of,
down through Drasburgh and then
Travel.
on to wherever
Hmm.
that would take us.
Get paid quicker that way, I guess, too.
Oh, we'll miss out on that.
merchants
Oh, right.
you have a desire to seek out the
But I defer to you.
And then I'm with you wherever you need help.
Absolutely.
Well, and if we're heading back to Erangel, I do have some connections around the city.
Now, let
As
me be
do
clear.
I.
This isn't a revenge mission. This isn't about me. As much as, I know how it sounds. The very first thing that I asked was when I asked, like, why have I been spared? Why what is happening to me? I got on my knees. I asked what I could do in exchange for my life, and the answer with what I could do with my life again was to make things right with the Cartagia family has an underground slave trade that they've been operating. And I have to expose it and to rightfully bring him to justice, not for the crimes he's committed against me, but for the crimes he's committed against others. It's the only righteous path. I can't take it into my own hands and kill him just for what he did to me. I have to bring him actually to justice, and I'm trying to figure out how to do that. But it seems like the only thing I can do is investigate, go, maybe Erangel might be a good place to start, and maybe I really will count on my friends. If you have other skill sets besides my own, I could use the help.
I have a friend in Oromond I could write to. Maybe they would be of some assistance.
Maybe I'd love to try it.
Well, when we get to Drasburgh, perhaps I can send a message, and I will not promise anything, but could provide a lead for us.
Sorry.
as you guys are kind of starting to maybe navigate out of the city, if you want to make a stealth check for me as a group, you may. Now decided upon your heading. Just let me know if you roll below a 10.
I rolled.
Got a 9.
Wait, a stealth? You said?
Mm-hmm.
I got a 7.
Okay.
18.
9, 7.
Did you say at advantage?
No.
Okay. Just trying to
Rachel?
gaslight you.
I got a 12 for
Okay.
disadvantage.
So it's only 2 below 10. You make it out of the city. No problem.
Oh.
Yay.
No
problem.
Start to journey through the jungle.
Now we just got to worry about T-Rexes.
We got those.
And can I have 2 d20s rolled for me?
apple.
Do the other.
6.
12.
As you journey through the jungle day by day. No sign of trouble, no sign of T-Rexes. Taking your watches every night. Eventually exiting the jungle, the only encounter you had was off in the distance. You heard the squawk of a familiar parrot.
Of course we did. One last time.
Nevertheless,
What was he saying?
he said,
How did we know it was him?
he said, "Eat me! Eat me!"
Oh.
More wild passes.
Yeah, I suppose that counts.
You make your way through Cloverton, staying at Mr. Callum Dridley's establishment at the roadside.
Did our mules make it back?
They did indeed make it back if you'd like to claim them.
Oh, Harrison!
They did indeed make it back, and you can...
Which two made it back?
All three of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
You can pick them up
Ford and Harrison.
and take them with you if you'd like. Would you like to take them with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our mules.
And eventually, with 3 mules in tow, you arrive at the exterior gates to the city of Drasburgh. Home safe. Or at least, safe.
There you go.
You enter the city around evening, and it is bustling as ever, like you never left. So, where are we sleeping?
Maybe we ought to pay a visit to Couatl and see the extent of his hospitality for bringing back his requested items.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, what time of
enjoy
day is it?
Speaking with him around 5 p.m. sunset, but or not sunset, but like twilight. You have time to run there if you'd like. I do need to check in with him. He was quite hospitable to me.
You don't know him.
Yes, I do.
No.
Yes, I do.
You've never once met Couatl.
Oh, yes, I have. You knock on the bottom of the tower, and he lets you in.
Anyone could know that.
Shall we take these things to him and perhaps
Maybe he has guest quarters.
Then we could maybe stay at the middle station, or if we're feeling a little heavy in the pocket, the Leighton House.
The Leighton House does.
Lincoln House is nice. For main thoroughfare.
Do you have
There are a couple of good places in the Northern Expanse if you'd like.
The Northern Expanse.
Yes.
place we have
How exclusive do you want?
We're trying to be pretty efficient with our
Then
finances.
the Northern Expanse is not for you.
So
However,
maybe
how much money will we really have after we turn these items?
why don't we go see first and then decide after the fact, perhaps?
Make these decisions with a little more information. Yeah, let's go see Couatl.
Make your way to the tower and swim down. The door is answered by no one other than the little sorcerer Yusk.
Yes.
Hi! Hello!
Yes, we're here to see Couatl again.
Oh, yeah, of course. Come on in.
Is he wearing a tuxedo?
No. You asked that last time.
Yeah, I
He is
know.
wearing a tuxedo.
I wanted to see if it changed by now.
He's not wearing a tux. Sorry.
Just like the Looney Tunes frog.
Yes.
Yes, come on. Come sit. And he brings you up to the sitting room. And about 5 minutes passes before you see the ponderous form of Couatl magically appear on the stairway that crushes you and puts you in different rooms as he kind of ponderously walks down the stairs. Oh, you've returned and brought Phinneas.
Yes. Do you know him?
Yes, we know each other. Yes, we know each other. I mentioned him earlier. When I sent you off, I said that he had headed towards the Veggie Wilds.
it's true. He did say that.
He is a famous author.
Yes, he is. Some of his stuff is even accurate. You see Phineas just kind of chuckle. So,
Mr. Palul.
yes.
We have those items you requested.
Oh, my monster parts. Was he a tough nut to crack?
I show
The
acid
first-
burns on my arm.
Oh,
Yes.
He was about as willing to quit, though, as Mr. Phineas Lonesong.
yes, Couatl's are.
conversation.
Yes, they're intelligent beings. Of course, I heard this one's quite nasty, corrupted.
He did drag several of us under the acid.
Acid? Ooh.
While we have you, the etching, Cyrus, do you think?
Oh yes. I will produce the rubbing that I did.
Ah.
This was inscribed on the side of the acid pool that we found the Couatl in.
Needing translation.
Yes.
This reads in Infernal. The Venomous Lagoon of Zahir. A storied location, empowering and corrupting those who dare bathe in its waters.
Zahir the snake god?
Yes,
It must have been what's haunting us to die. We had all been touched by
Oh,
the
yes.
oh, well, that would explain it. It is quite tempting, power and rebirth and whatnot. But I'm glad you didn't jump in acid.
He had 2 health bars.
I don't know what that means. But
He
I'm
died
glad.
and came back.
Oh, well, gross.
Gross.
Well, I hope that these parts are still just as valuable to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Undead.
Yes, I have quite an interesting project I've been working on. But before we get to that, payment. I believe we agreed on 600 gold pieces as the price for all of this, right?
Was there, some mention of, I think it was 100 gold hazard pay?
Oh, there was not, but...
Oh, there wasn't. That's almost always built into our contracts.
Well,
I'm lying.
yeah, I know. Regardless, I think it was more hazardous than perhaps I knew, so I've decided to increase the payout, if that's all right.
You were too generous.
I think probably 1,000 gold would be more fitting. Is that okay?
Yeah, that
Quite okay.
Yes.
that sounds reasonable.
Very well, and he just kind of pulls off a purse and flings it at someone.
And then he reaches out and touches it. Well, that's a 66% increase in pay. I think we'll take that.
Yes.
So,
Yes, you're welcome. I have some projects to get to. I'm quite busy, but before I go, Cyrus, I did speak with my friends at the Convocation Arcanum about your internship inquiry, and I believe I found one. If you are interested,
Oh,
do you know Thelgrim Bronzebrick?
do I know Thelgrim Brunswick?
No, you have no idea who that is.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Oh, so you're familiar with his work? Well, if you'd like to be shipped out to the Kingdom of Alda, it seems he needs a couple extra hands. It'd be a good internship. Thelgrim's a decent chap.
I think Vinny would definitely do that. Pirates very much watching what he's thinking.
You know, having spent some more time with this particular group, I don't know that I'm quite ready to leave them now, actually.
Well, quite fine. It was just trying to help. But if,
yes,
if
absolutely.
you've learned more out on the road,
I have. Would you like to see some?
sure. Oh, well, actually, I am quite busy. I really must get. These actually came at an opportune time.
Can I
What?
cast Jump on Yusk?
You cast jump on Yusk. And he goes, "Oh,
Watch him go. Look at him go.
what do you want me to do?"
Jump. As high as
Okay.
you can.
And he jumps and hits the ceiling and pops.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa!
And then both of them turn hostile. What are you doing?
Skyrim guards.
Roll initiative.
You kill a chicken in Skyrim, and then just the entire city tries to.
Yeah,
murder
you're already turning Phineas into Nazim.
you.
Oh, you get to the northern expanse very often. Oh, what am I saying?
Of course you do.
Of course you don't. But
I-
he's notably impressed. It looks like you're mastering some some spells.
I am. I am interested in, learning some more divination spells, though. If you maybe have some time in the morning.
Yes, stop by sometime. Are you in town long?
Not long. We're
Not
passing
long.
through.
Okay,
but
well, stop by. We'll see. But I'll speak with all of you tomorrow if that's okay. I have some rituals I must attend. This was nice.
Yes, thank you so much for seeing us.
Of course.
You can always reach out if you need any additional help.
Of course. Well, Yust will see you out. Have a good evening. And he goes back upstairs, and Yust leads you out and kind of says, "Yeah, that was pretty cool. That you could make me jump that high. I'm not there yet, but
anytime, yes.
I'm getting there. Don't worry." But as you guys are coming back up into the city, there are a contingent of Mistilectos sitting, waiting for you. Who kind of are blocking your path.
We didn't do anything.
You see the lead Mistilectos kind of go up and start to talk to you. Whoever's kind of in front, probably Alin, so he dresses Alin.
Mhm.
Are you the Guild of Goodwill?
Yes, we are.
I've been sent by the Kid Agora to bring you to Riverwatch Citadel.
Okay.
Is this a good time?
We're happy to comply.
Sure. Well, follow me. And they're going to start to try and lead you to Riverwatch Citadel.
So river what now? Where is that?
I don't know. I don't think we went there last time.
It is in the Northern Expanse. But as you follow the Mistilectos, I think that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Are we in trouble? We must be in trouble.
The Kitagora are they're not the heroes of the hour.
The Mr. Lactose. We can take these guys. We've seen what they're capable of.
True.
Nothing.
If they end up saying, no, you're bad, you can just
Yeah, remember that time they tried to help us in that